Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this afternoon's ACAA men's basketball matchup between the 6-0 Mount St. Vincent Mystics and the 3-3 Holland College Hurricanes. Just wrapping up the starting lineup introductions here in the McMillan Center for Community Engagement on the Holland College campus in downtown Charlottetown, PEI. Starting for the visiting Mystics, Isaac Matheson, Chase Tynes, Jaden Smith, Sam Gillette, and Jackson Smith. For the hometown Hurricanes, we have Aaron Simmons, Nick Mills, Tyrell Casimir, Bryce Corliss, and D'Angelo Woodside. Players to watch for either team: Bryce Corliss, number 13 for the Hurricanes, second in ACAA scoring in points per game, averaging 20.8. And for the 6-0 Mystics, Chase Tynes, who has the ball right now, averaging a double-double per game. That was a quick start for the Mystics. Isaac Matheson putting it home to give the Mystics an early lead. Corliss looking for Woodside, mishandles it. Nick Mills there, back to Woodside. Woodside out to Corliss. Fakes a long three, now looking to drive, takes a long two instead, and it will rim out. Woodside there on the rebound for the Canes. Puts it up off the board, looking for his own rebound. Picked up there by Jackson Smith. And the Mystics will look to break out. Mishandle of the ball there. Tynes turns it over. And that's Bryce Corliss for the Canes. Again, averaging 20.8 points per game through the first 6 games of the year. Has it. Now he'll take a long three, and it drops to give the Canes an early lead, 3-2, on the long three-point shot by Corliss. Tynes now looking long pass there for Sam Gillette. Woodside collects the defensive rebound and gets it to Aaron Simmons. Simmons now crosses half for the Canes. Oh, airmails that pass, looking for Casimir. Sailed into the stands, and the Mystics will take over. Early here in the first quarter of action, 3-2 the score. Hurricanes leading Mystics early. That's Gillette, long pass, gets it back, three-point try, off the rim. Woodside colliding there on the rebound. Foul called on Mount St. Vincent's Jackson Smith. Mount St. Vincent with almost an exclusively Nova Scotian-born roster. And here's Simmons with it, quick crossover to get over half. Now he has Casimir on the side. Corliss beyond the arc, picks up by Mills. Simmons with it beyond three. He puts it up, and that sails wide. Mills looking to keep it inbounds. Cannot do so, and it's a turnover. The Mystics will take over. Quick start, quick transition there. And once again, that's Isaac Matheson, his second basket of the game. Pretty much from the same spot as the first one. Corliss now, again, with the ball deep in the offensive territory, turns it over, but the ball was touched on the end line. Gillette couldn't stay in bounds with it, so it stays Hurricane ball. 11 seconds on the shot clock here. Corliss for Woodside. D'Angelo Woodside drives down, and he's knocked over. Getting the shot off. Foul called on Sam Gillette. Woodside to the line for two. Gets the first one to go, ties the game up at 4. Canes will try to take a lead on Woodside's second free throw attempt. And he does so, giving the Hurricanes a 5-4 lead. Again, quick passing by the Mystics. Gillette now with it, kicks it out to Matheson. Matheson has all 4 of the Mystics' points so far. Chase Tynes called for 3 in the key. The Hurricanes with a little bit of traction here early. Again, the Mystics come into this game undefeated, while the Hurricanes sit at a 500 record. Maybe throwing off the Mystics off their game a little bit. Casimir back to Corliss. Punched out of his hand by Smith, but right out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Hurricanes. 10 on the shot clock. Corliss will look to inbound it. Waits for something to set up. Woodside Simmons switching spots, and Simmons has it past the arc. Shot clock winding down. Simmons turns it over to Tynes. Tynes, again, averaging a double-double a game. 16.7 points and 10.8 rebounds. Shot goes up there. That's off the rim by Jaden Smith. Simmons now quickly up for the Canes. Good tempo here early on, despite the low score so far, and Corliss on a mission to fix that with another three-point shot. 2 for 2 on three-point attempts for Bryce Corliss, and the Canes have an 8-4 lead. Tynes looking for Gillette. Matheson now for three, sails that one wide. And 3.5 minutes into the first quarter of this game, the Hurricanes have the Mystics back on their heels a little bit with an 8-4 lead. Again, Bryce Corliss with 6 of the 8 points so far on a pair of impressive three-point shots. Simmons for Mills, back to Corliss. Corliss down low to Woodside. Woodside tries to get around Tynes. Pass gets through the arms of the defender there to Nick Mills. Mills puts it up. That's knocked away into the hands of Chase Tynes. Tynes now bringing the ball up the court. Looking deep into the corner. That's Gillette for three. Can't get it home. It was Ambrose Johnson on the rebound there, and now Simmons bringing the ball up for the Canes, directing traffic. Dishes the ball off to Simmons. Simmons to Corliss, fakes a three-point shot. Ball punched away from behind. Nice defensive play there by Jaden Smith. Now Jackson Smith into the paint. Puts the ball up. Rebound bounces around. Matheson again. And again, it's Matheson from right underneath the basket. Carbon copy of the first two baskets for the Mystics. Matheson has all 6 of their points, and it's an 8-6 game. Simmons patiently waiting. Woodside sets a pick, now rolls down low. Simmons tries to get the ball up, knocked away by Matheson. Strong start to the game for Isaac Matheson. Woodside now puts the ball up, that's wide. Tynes gets the rebound but steps on the end line. So that will be a turnover for the Mystics, and Holland College will take over. The officials are going to rule that he didn't have, Tynes never really had possession before stepping out. There will be 1 second on the shot clock here. So 1 second on the shot clock. Holland College has to make something happen quickly here. Johnson takes too long. And that's a shot clock violation against the Hurricanes. So after all the confusion, it ends up going to the Mystics anyway. The Hurricanes fans start to pick up the noise in the corner of the gym. Chase Tynes with the ball at the top. Looks down low, Jackson Smith tries to get it up. Matheson, a good offensive rebound there on the attempt. Tynes over for Jaden Smith. That three-point shot rims out, but follows up his own rebound. Out for Matheson. Chase Tynes now up for three. That can't go either, so the Mystics having a little trouble with their shooting early on. All 3 of their baskets coming from directly underneath the basket. Corliss with another three-point shot. Can't get that to go. Strong offensive rebound there by Ambrose Johnson, and Corliss with the putback. Strong offensive possession there by Holland College as they take a 10-6 lead. Jaden Smith now with it. He drives into the key and drops that home. Cuts the lead in half. It's a 10-8 game. 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Holland College leading Mount St. Vincent 10-8. Nick Mills with it. Over to Ambrose Johnson. Bryce Corliss. He's got 8 of Holland College's 10 points so far. Tried to get it Woodside. Gets it right back. Puts it up. That rims out. Johnson and Simmons trying to tag team a rebound there. And they're going to call a foul on Jaden Smith. So it will stay Holland College ball. They'll have 14 seconds on the shot clock. Subs coming in for both teams. Dominic Sherrard for Holland College. Adam Callahan for the Mystics. Scrambly start to that possession. Woodside gets it, puts it up, rims out. Jaden Smith now with it for the Mystics. Smith, a no-look pass underneath for Matheson, saves it. Gets it out to Callahan, who wastes no time putting his impact on this game with a quick release three-pointer. Great play there on the rebound by Matheson. As the Mystics take their second lead of the game, it's 11-10. Big block there by Chase Tynes on Ambrose Johnson, who maintains possession, puts another shot up. Woodside with another block by Tynes. Johnson again goes up. Some strong offensive rebounding there by the Hurricanes. And Ambrose Johnson's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Jaden Smith called for the foul there. Now he will sub out in favor of Keegan Farron. Ambrose Johnson to the line for 2. Can't get the first one to drop. Makes no mistake on the second one, and we are tied at 11 with just over 3 minutes left here in the opening quarter of play. Isaac Matheson, who's had a strong opening quarter so far, down low for Chase Tynes. Tynes up for Farron, down for Jackson Smith. That one bounces off the backboard and drops as Mount St. Vincent retakes a slim 2-point lead here. Simmons now, Sherrard, give and go to Simmons. Simmons doesn't put the shot up, gets it out to Sherrard, 3-point shot, off the rim. Isaac Matheson now brings it back. Jackson Smith, uncontested to the hoop, and it's a 4-point lead for the Mystics. Bryce Corliss, he's got 8 of Holland College's 11 points so far. Ambrose Johnson now with it. Johnson, stymied, gets it out to Simmons, 3-point try, that one fails to drop. Chase Tynes with a rebound in the defensive zone for the Mystics. Brings it ahead, out to Jackson Smith. Quick give to Callahan. He's got his second 3-pointer of the game. It's an 18-11 lead now for the Mystics, thanks in large part to a pair of threes from Adam Callahan off the bench. Another long 3 from Corliss. That doesn't go. Now Jackson Smith comes back. Quick transition again. That bounced off of Simmons right to Matheson. And a foul called there on Corliss. Weird bounce there. It's bounced off the shoulder of Simmons right to Isaac Matheson. And it'll be Keegan Fearon to the line. On the other side of the timeout called by Holland College. 1:48 left here in the opening quarter. Mount St. Vincent leading Holland College 18-11. Bryce Corliss with 2 3-pointers and another field goal. Has 8 of Holland College's 11 points. Their other 3 points have come off of free throws. So Holland College needing to distribute the offense and find some more offense to support Corliss here. Again, Adam Callahan, third-year guard out of Sydney, Nova Scotia, coming off the bench, and in about a minute and a half has 6 points to his credit on 2 3-point attempts, 1 from either corner. Again, the Mystics are undefeated coming into this game at 6-0. Holland College had as much as a 4-point lead early in this game, but Mount St. Vincent has come back and started to open things up here. So with 1:48 left in the opening quarter, we'll see if Holland College can find some answers here and narrow that deficit at the very least going into quarter time. Keegan Fearon, 6'7", out of Bedford, to the line for 2. Owen Parsons into the game now for Holland College. Fearon's first shot off the rim and out. Gets the second one to go, so it's 19-11. Mount St. Vincent over Holland College in the late stages of the first quarter here. Aaron Simmons with the ball, tries to bring it up across half. Crossover over to Corliss. Down low for Parsons. Parsons down low to Simmons in the paint. That one batted away, and it stays with the Canes, knocked out by a Mystic player. Ambrose Johnson to inbound it, gets it to Corliss, goes up for three, no, fakes, and then goes up, and it's another three-point shot. 3 of them in the first quarter here for Corliss. That pass, not sure who that was to. Bounced off of Dominic Sherrard right back to Corliss. Corliss now with 11 of Holland College's 14 points. So he looks to exceed his average of 20.8 per game. That's Jackson Smith with a quick putback. It's 21-14, approaching 1 minute left here in the first quarter of play. Corliss goes up, gets his own rebound and puts it back. And that's 13 points now for Bryce Corliss in this opening quarter. Callahan with it. He's got 6 points for the Mystics. 45 seconds left here. Isaac Matheson puts it back for Keegan Fearon. Loses the handle on it. Callahan gets it back to Matheson. 5 on the shot clock. Jackson Smith puts it up from 3. No good. Aaron Simmons with 32 seconds to work with. Gets it back to Corliss. He's going to tee it up from 3 again off the rim. Corliss trying to do it single-handedly here. Still a shot clock in play. About 2 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Isaac Matheson from 3. No good. Keegan Fearon. Shot clock not in effect anymore, thanks to the offensive rebound. 5 seconds left. Callahan puts up another 3, and he's got 3 of his own today. Corliss puts it up at the buzzer, a little long. And thanks to 3 3-pointers from Adam Callahan coming off the bench, Mount St. Vincent opens up a 24-16 lead at the end of 1 quarter of play here from Charlottetown at Holland College. We'll take a minute break here in between quarters and rejoin you for the second quarter of play. And coming into the second quarter of play, Bryce Corliss putting on a one-man show so far for Holland College with 13 points of the Hurricanes' 16 in that opening frame. But it is the Mount St. Vincent Mystics, 6-0 coming into this game, who have an 8-point lead, leading 24-16 as we get set here for the second quarter of play. Again, Adam Callahan, third-year player for the Mystics, with 3 3-pointers off the bench late in that first quarter. He's on the floor to start the second quarter here, along with Sam Gilmore, who has subbed in. Holland College starting with the same lineup they ended the quarter with. Parsons, Johnson, Sherrard, Simmons, and of course Bryce Corliss in to start this second quarter. Corliss, Sherrard, Johnson, quick movement here by the Hurricanes. Simmons puts it up, but that's no good. Again, the Hurricanes are going to need someone other than Corliss to put some points up here. Corliss forces the turnover there. Simmons corrals it and is back quickly the other way for Holland College. Over to Corliss. Corliss for Ambrose Johnson. Johnson now to Dominic Gerard. Corliss, another three. That one doesn't go, but Owen Parsons with a good rebound. Ambrose Johnson back into the corner for Parsons. Give and go to Johnson. Battling a couple of defenders. Simmons goes up with it, and he gets that to go. It's the first field goal by anyone not named Bryce Corliss for Holland College. Cuts the lead to 6. Matheson in quickly. Stuffed there by Parsons, but they're going to call Parsons for the foul. Saying that he got his bottom hand in for the push there, and it'll be Isaac Matheson to shoot 2. Matheson doesn't get the first one to go, so the score remains 24-18. Second one, no mistake, and it's 25-18 now for the Mystics. Parsons inbounds to Corliss. Corliss tries to direct traffic. He's got Simmons on the left side. Simmons across court for Ambrose Johnson. Drives the lane, tries to get it up, but he was too tight into the net, and Mount St. Vincent is back the other way. Matheson, he had a strong opening corner. Big block there by Bryce Corliss. 17 on the shot clock. It is still Mystics' ball, as Corliss was the one who knocked it out. Matheson inbounds to Chase Tynes, averaging a double-double in the first 6 games this year. Gets it out, and that is off the rim. That was Gilmore with the shot. Gerard with the rebound to Corliss, over to Simmons. Simmons brings the ball up the court as the point man. Over to Johnson. Ambrose Johnson for 3, and he's got it. And it's a 4-point lead now for Mount St. Vincent. 5 points by the Hurricanes to start the second quarter. Matheson, tough defense there by Johnson, but Callahan with it now. Adam Callahan goes up under the net and gets it to go. 3 3-pointers in the first quarter, and now he's got a chance for a 3-point play with the free throw to come here. Foul charge to Aaron Simmons. And Callahan calmly completes the 3-point play. D'Angelo Woodside and Ryan McKinnon into the game now for Holland College. Parson and Simmons to the bench. There's McKinnon. Corliss directing the traffic. McKinnon now over to the side for Johnson. Another 3-point attempt and another 3-point made by Ambrose Johnson. Once again, the lead cut to 4. Fearon now at the top of the 3-point line. Trying to get it down low to Callahan. Dishes it out to Matheson. 3-point shot doesn't go. Good strong rebound there by Woodside, deflecting it to himself in the corner. Now Ryan McKinnon with it for Holland College. Gerard now. Circles over to the top. Down into the corner. That's McKinnon with it. Tries to get it to Corliss, but Chase Tynes with the steal. Tynes around Corliss, gets it to go. And it's a 6-point lead for the Mystics now, 30-24. 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Good dish there by Johnson. Woodside out to Corliss. Corliss for 3 off the rim. Matheson with the defensive rebound there. Adam Callahan. Another 3-point attempt. First time he hasn't made one of those go today. And I think it's Matheson is going to get charged with a foul there. 30-24, just under 3 minutes into the second quarter. Tim Kendrick starting to get into the depths of his bench now as Nate Johnson checks in. So lots of different players getting minutes now for both teams. Of course, Bryce Corliss hasn't left the court yet. Don't expect we'll see him leave the court anytime soon. Johnson there for Johnson. McKinnon. That pass deflected by Jaden Smith, out of bounds. 9 seconds on the shot clock for Holland College. Ambrose Johnson looking for Ryan McKinnon. He's got it. Ryan McKinnon looking for Nate Johnson. Gets it to him. Back to McKinnon. Thought about the three-pointer, then gets it down low to Woodside, and the shot clock expires. So the Mystics maintain their 6-point lead. Good strong defense by Mount St. Vincent there. Adam Callahan bringing the ball up the court for the Mystics. Fearon with it. Jackson Smith, he had a strong first quarter and continues strong play here with a good drive and finish. And it's an 8-point lead for the Mystics. Corliss now. Johnson to Nate Johnson. Ryan McKinnon now. 10 on the shot clock. As McKinnon looks for Woodside. Good defense there by Fearon. Ambrose Johnson with less than 5 on the clock. Drives, puts it up off the rim. Rebounded by, that was Sam Gilmore there for the Mystics. And Callahan again up quickly. Gets it back for Jaden Smith into the corner. Good play there by Corliss to read the play. And they're going to call Corliss for the double dribble. And with that, Corliss will check out, probably for a quick break. And it's Jaden Smith bringing the ball up, fourth-year player for the Mystics. Fearon to Jackson Smith. Back to Jaden. He puts it home. Jackson and Jaden Smith making their impact felt here in the second quarter as the Mount opens up a 10-point lead. Ambrose Johnson now. Down for Aaron Simmons. Down low to Woodside. Woodside mishandled it at first, got it back. Now that is Nate Johnson off the rim. Callahan bringing it back, looking for Jackson Smith. That pass was behind him, though. Holland College will take the ball in their own half of the gym. Simmons up for McKinnon. McKinnon, that's Nate Johnson battling there with Gillette. Aaron Simmons with the ball. That pass, not on the same page as Woodside there. That is Keegan Fearon with an uncontested layup for the Mystics as their lead extends to 12. Biggest lead of the game so far. Holland College looking for some offense here in the second quarter. Ambrose Johnson looking for some, but it doesn't fall. Jaden Smith with the rebound, bringing it up for the Mystics. Loses his footing, maintains possession of the ball momentarily, and now the ball is going to be awarded to Mount St. Vincent after the lost possession. Callahan to inbound for the Mystics. Isaac Matheson to Jackson Smith. Gillette and Fearon are the other two Mystics out there. Fearon with it now, and once again, Woodside applying some pressure there. And Simmons has it back the other way for the Canes. Ambrose Johnson gets it to go. And the lead is cut to 10 once again. Jackson Smith now for the Mystics. Looking for Matheson. Good defense there by Ryan McKinnon to snuff that play out. Now Callahan with it. Pick set by Jackson Smith. Callahan down low to Fearon. Fearon bodies through Johnson, and that's going to be an offensive foul charged to the first-year player for Mount St. Vincent. Subs coming in for both teams. Chase Tynes and Bryce Corliss. Top scorers for either team. Again, Bryce Corliss averaging 20.8 points through the first 6 games of the year. No points yet in the second quarter, but he had 13 in the first. Chase Tynes averaging a double-double with 16.7 points and 10.8 rebounds per game through the first 6. He's had a strong impact on the game. Maybe not on the scoreboard, but Jackson and Jaden Smith are more than making up for it. And Adam Callahan also with a strong start to this first half. 12 points for him. 10 points is the difference right now as Mount St. Vincent 36-26 over the Hurricanes here in the later stages of the second quarter of play. As the timeout comes to a close. Not very many fouls here in the second quarter, only 2 per team. 3:57 left here before halftime. Coming to you live from the McMillan Center in Charlottetown, PEI on the Holland College campus. Tyrell Casimir back into the game for Holland College. Hurricanes will have the ball here behind their own baseline. 3:57 again on the clock here in the second quarter. 36-26. Mount St. Vincent leading. Simmons back to Corliss, back again to Simmons. Simmons right back to Corliss. Thinks about a long three. Slides to his left, finds Simmons. Simmons now to his right. Corliss steps in front of the three-point line, puts one up. Can't get that one to go. Shook around the rim. Chase Tynes back the other way with it for the Mystics. No-look pass to Matheson. Matheson into the corner for Callahan. Steps around Corliss. He puts it up off the backboard. No good. And Ambrose Johnson with the defensive board for the Canes. Johnson can't get it to go. Woodside battling for the rebound, and he will come out victorious as Isaac Matheson tips the ball out of bounds. .14 on the shot clock here. Corliss goes up with it. Chase Tynes going to get called for the foul there. 3:18 on the clock now. Corliss to the line for 2. He's got 13 points so far today. Making a nice even 14 after a nervous moment there with the ball rolling around the rim. Corliss now with 15 of the Hurricanes' 28 points through the first 17 minutes of play here. As we approach 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Mystics lead 36-28. Another no-look pass from Tynes. This one to Gillette into the corner for Smith. Up to Callahan. Another three. Can't get that one to go after a hot start. Callahan's cooled off here late in the second quarter. Aaron Simmons over to Ambrose Johnson into the paint for Woodside. D'Angelo Woodside back out to Johnson. Fakes out Jackson Smith. Johnson driving to the hoop. Lots of traffic in there. Callahan comes away with it for the Mystics. Trying to calm things down here. Gets it over to Gillette. Gillette over to Jackson Smith. Steps around Corliss and Woodside, but Woodside makes his presence felt. Turns it over, up ahead for Ambrose Johnson, who gets the layup to go. And it's now a 6-point lead for the Mystics. So the Hurricanes are clawing their way back here. Jackson Smith over to Callahan. Thinks about it. Back to Smith. Ball was tipped, finds its way into Chase Tynes, and he gets the basket to go. And he'll have a chance to complete the three-point play. Foul called on Aaron Simmons, his second foul of the game. And now Tynes will look to complete that three-point play. And it's a 9-point lead for the Mystics, 39-30. As we approach the 2-minute mark. Simmons, nice crossover there on Matheson, gets it to Casimir. Back to Simmons, who lost his footing for a moment, regained it just in time. Otherwise, I think it was Matheson was going to have a break the other way. Woodside in the paint, off the backboard. Chase Tynes with another rebound for the Mystics. Up ahead to Matheson. Back for Tynes. Down low for Smith. Shoulders his way around Simmons and gets that to go as the lead is in double digits once again for the Mystics. Inside 2 minutes now in the second quarter. Simmons gets it down low to Casimir. Goes down the baseline. They're going to call a foul there. It's not a shooting foul. Called on Sam Gillette. Jaden Smith checks back in. 14 seconds on the shot clock for Holland College to work with here. Down by 11, minute 38 left. Johnson to Woodside. Out to Casimir. Back down to Woodside in the paint. Fights off a couple of Mystics to get the shot off. Gets his own rebound, and it's knocked away by Tynes. Simmons back to Woodside again. Tynes going for the block. Doesn't get it, but the shot doesn't go either. Now it's Jackson Smith. Steps around a couple of Hurricanes defenders, but doesn't get the shot to go. Ambrose Johnson up for Corliss. Corliss around a couple of Mystics to Casimir as the pace quickens up here in the final 2 minutes of this first half. Foul called there on Mount St. Vincent. Chase Tynes gets the foul, his second of the first half. It's Tyrell Casimir to the line for two. Casimir gets the first one to go. We'll try to cut the lead to within double digits with this one. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound controlled by Mount St. Vincent, even with Corliss there. Adam Callahan now up quickly for Mount St. Vincent. Again, had a hot start to the game off the bench. Now Tynes settling things down for the Mount. Down low to Jackson Smith. Can't get it to go. Corliss with the rebound. And they're going to call a foul there on Jackson Smith. And because the bonus is now in effect for Holland College, Corliss will go to the line for two. I believe Corliss is still at 15 points so far this game. He'll try to make it 16 and 17 here. First shot drops, and the lead is single digits now for the Mystics. 41-32, 48 seconds left here, so 2 full possessions potentially. So Corliss will try to cut into the lead again. And with his 17th point of the first half by my count, Corliss cuts the lead to 8. Matheson for Tynes. 40 seconds left in the quarter and in the first half. Tynes with it in the paint. Out to Jackson Smith for 3. Can't get it to go. Corliss with a strong defensive rebound. Simmons gets around Jackson Smith. Simmons over to Corliss. 3-point shot. Doesn't go. Woodside battling with Tynes for the rebound. Tynes controls it and gets it just as it was going off the end line. Callahan now with no shot clock. 12 seconds left here. Corliss knocks that out of bounds. And with 9 seconds left and an 8-point lead, Mount St. Vincent calls a timeout. They have the ball with 9 seconds to work with. Again, no shot clock here as they got the ball back inside 24 seconds remaining in the quarter. Up with an 8-point lead, so they'll try and extend that to 10. With an 8-point lead, they'll try to extend that to 10, maybe 11 here, depending on what strategy they're going to draw up. Head coach Danny DePalma on the whiteboard with the Mystics. Tim Kendrick, the head coach for the Hurricanes. He's going to make a substitution. Casimir's going to come in for Simmons. A few seconds left in the timeout here. Again, there's 9 seconds left in the first half of play. Mount St. Vincent will have the ball in the offensive zone with 9 seconds to work with, nursing an 8-point lead. Jaden and Jackson Smith, Adam Callahan, Isaac Matheson, and Chase Tynes out there for the Mystics. A couple of substitutions for the Hurricanes. It's Ambrose Johnson, Mills, Casimir, Woodside, and Corliss. So lots of size out there to defend. The last 9.2 seconds here as the clock is on. Matheson drives the hoop and gets it to go. And as the first half expires, it's a 10-point lead. Nice drive there by Isaac Matheson, who was living underneath the hoop for most of the first quarter, refines his groove there. It's 43-33. Mount St. Vincent over Holland College, a 10-point lead for the Mystics going into halftime. We'll rejoin you for the third quarter of action here in a few from Charlottetown PEI. Welcome back for the second half of action in ACAA men's basketball today. Live from Holland College campus here in Charlottetown, PEI. The Mount St. Vincent Mystics 6-0 coming into this game, up 43-33 over the hometown Hurricanes. As we start the third quarter, Isaac Matheson and Adam Callahan playing keep away for the Mystics. Now Jackson Smith down low to Chase Tynes. Tynes behind the back for Callahan. Callahan over to Jackson Smith for three, off the rim. Offensive rebound there for Matheson. Matheson now waiting for something to develop. Gets it over to Gillette. Gillette into the paint for Jackson Smith. Quick spinorama and puts it home. And it's a 12-point lead for the Mystics. Their biggest lead so far has been 12. Aaron Simmons now for Casimir. Tyrell Casimir. Over to Nick Mills. Bryce Corliss has 15 points by my count coming into the second half. Thinks about a three there. Now has it taken away by Jackson Smith, who just puts it up into space for Chase Tynes. A little back and forth there between Tynes and Woodside. Ball bounces off Tynes and out of bounds. Simmons now brings the ball across half court for the Hurricanes. Over to Woodside. D'Angelo Woodside now with it. Aaron Simmons has Casimir going into the corner. Simmons cuts into the middle instead. Now in down low into the paint for Woodside. Strong play by Woodside there, but they're going to call him for the travel before the shot. Scrambly start for both teams here to start the third quarter. Matheson with it for the Mystics. Jackson Smith. Simmons almost there for the turnover. Now Chase Tynes for three. Off the rim. Good strong rebound there by Casimir, and then off the arm of Gillette and out of bounds. Not much happening on the scoreboard in the first minute and a half of this third quarter. Still lots of action, though. Simmons now. Wide for Corliss. Corliss into the top of the key and puts it home. And again, by my count, that's his 17th point of the game. Tynes now with it. Kicks it wide for Gillette. Gets past Corliss. Tynes in the paint, puts it home. And Tynes is going to get a technical foul for celebrating. Corliss will go to the line for Holland College. So again, Tynes charged with a technical foul for celebrating. Looked like it was in the direction of the Hurricanes bench as well. Corliss, first free throw off the rim. And now Holland College, it will be their ball behind their own baseline. So just the one free throw. Casimir to inbound to Simmons. Simmons with it now for the Hurricanes. Watched closely by Isaac Matheson, who's had a strong game offensively for the Mystics. Corliss. That ball taken away from Casimir by Tynes, who loses the handle on it. Turns out it was helped strongly by Casimir, who knocked it out of bounds. Trying to atone for the turnover deep in offensive territory. Long pass across court by Tynes. Gillette puts up a three off the rim. Strong rebound there by Tynes. And underneath the hoop, the basket will count, and he'll get a chance for a three-point play. Coming into the game now is Demoy Dozavato. Foul was called on Casimir. Tynes to the line to complete the three-point play. shot goes. And Mount St. Vincent now has their biggest lead of the game. It's a 14-point lead, 49-35. Casimir with it. Jump shot doesn't go. Woodside battling for the rebound, but the Mystics come away with it. It's Callahan up the court. Over to Jackson Smith. Out wide to Gillette. Callahan calls for it. It's Tynes at the top of the three-point line. Now Callahan in the corner. Boy, Callahan has been loving those corners so far today. That's his third three-pointer from one of the corners. And the lead is now 18 thanks to that three-point shot from Adam Callahan. Didn't start the game, but came in hot off the bench. Now Simmons with a three-point shot. That doesn't go. Corliss corrals the rebound. Slows things down, resets things for Holland College. 10 on the shot clock now as Corliss puts up a long three. That rims out. Casimir gets the rebound, though. Simmons tries to hit a streaking Corliss, but that's picked off by Jackson Smith. And now the other way, it's Isaac Matheson. Great alley-oop on the layup there by Gillette, hooking up with Matheson on the other end. Simmons now, as the lead is 20 for Mount St. Vincent. Simmons for Corliss. Corliss watched closely by Jackson Smith. Gets it low to Woodside. D'Angelo Woodside goes up, and that goes. So the lead is now 18. Holland College will try to claw their way back in here. 6 minutes left in the third quarter of play. Mount St. Vincent 55, Holland College 37. Tynes with it. Simmons crowding him. Tynes goes up, and that one goes. Chase Tynes continues his strong third quarter of play. Tynes having words with his own bench after that one. Simmons looking for someone. Corliss pops free. Corliss trying to direct traffic. Simmons sets a pick for him. And Simmons is going to get charged with a moving screen there. They're going to say that Simmons didn't have his feet set. And it will be Mount St. Vincent ball. 57-37. So again, a 20-point lead. Mount St. Vincent will look to open this up even more on this possession. DeZavato now on Tynes in the paint. Passed off in the zone. And they're going to get Simmons for another foul. So 2 fouls in about 12 seconds there for Aaron Simmons. It's his 4th of the game. As Ryan McKinnon will replace him on the court. Some confusion now as Holland College trying to figure out who's guarding who. Tynes taking his time, inbounds it to Matheson. Tough defense there by McKinnon, but unfortunately it's going to be too tough. Gets a little physical with Matheson, charged for the block. .14 on the shot clock now with 5:10 left here. Still a 20-point lead for Mount St. Vincent. Woodside does a good job of blocking that inbound throw, but he did with his foot. So they will redo it. That's Gillette with it near the corner. Back up high for Tynes, beyond the three-point arc. Into the corner for Callahan. Doesn't go that time. That's been his sweet spot today, is in those bottom half of the three-point line near the corners. Corliss with it now for Holland College. Corliss has had another strong offensive game. Looking to maintain his average of 20 points per game. He's going to draw a foul there. Foul called on Jackson Smith. Holland College ball. You're going to rule that wasn't a shot foul. It was a possession foul. Corliss waiting for something to open up, looking for someone. Tries to hook up with McKinnon, but that's out of his reach, off his hand, and out of bounds. Jackson Smith with it now for the Mystics. Quick transitions by the Mystics in this game, getting from one end of the court to the other. Callahan thinks about three, tries to fake out Corliss, gets the ball to Jackson Smith. He will put up a three. And on the rebound attempt, I believe they're going to call Gillette for the foul, as he went up with Dozavato. A couple big bodies colliding in the paint there on the rebound. It's Gillette's third foul of the game. 4.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. It's Nate Johnson looking for D'Angelo Woodside. Woodside down low for Dozavato, and he gets it to go. Off balance, put back there. Him and Gillette colliding again. Matheson with it now for Mount St. Vincent. McKinnon watching him. Tynes across court to Gillette. Gillette gets around Johnson, but the ball springs loose, and there's going to be a foul called on Chase Tynes. Chase Tynes' fourth foul of the game, so with an 18-point lead, they can be selective in how they use him over the last 14 minutes and 1 second of this game. 4:01 left here in the third quarter. Mount St. Vincent leading Holland College 57-39. Holland College trying to find some traction here offensively in the second half. McKinnon now for Woodside. Woodside down low to Dozavato. Maybe that's the traction they needed. That's 2 in a row for Dozavato. Callahan quickly with it back the other way from Mount St. Vincent. Again, using those quick transitions. Jackson Smith now. Matheson. Matheson driving on McKinnon. Gets it. Fearon off of his hands, but right to Callahan. Callahan out wide for Matheson for 3. That one off the rim and in. It's a 3-pointer. 18-point lead restored for Mount St. Vincent here. 19, 60-41. McKinnon now for 3. No good. Holland College trying to reply with a 3 of their own, but Mount St. Vincent controls the rebound. Matheson and Callahan again going back and forth, and they are going to call a block on Ryan McKinnon. They're going to say he didn't have his feet planted. McKinnon thinks otherwise, but either way, it's Matheson to the line for 2. Isaac Matheson has had a very strong game offensively for Mount St. Vincent. 20-point lead restored, 61-41 after Matheson makes the first free throw. Going up for his second now. Gets that one to go as well. And it's Ryan McKinnon who just got the foul coming back the other way for the Hurricanes. Woodside now at the top of the key. Trying to direct Dozavato where to go. He's got Johnson behind him, gets it to him. Nate Johnson from the top of the key. Off the rim. Woodside, a strong offensive rebound there, but too strong trying to get the putback as he went through Callahan. Charge called against Woodside. So no shot on the play. So 62-41, as I believe the Holland College bench is getting a warning here from the officials. McKinnon and Matheson seem to be having a conversation about the block charged to McKinnon on the last Mount St. Vincent possession. McKinnon playing good defense on McKinnon there. As Fearon with it now at the top of the key. Dozavato watching him. Johnson tried to jump that one, almost got there. Callahan with it as the shot clock hits 10. Matheson gets around McKinnon. Down low for Fearon. Up top for Callahan. Another 3-point shot for Callahan doesn't go. Good rebound there by number 14, Sam Gilmore, who draws the foul. That foul will go to Nate Johnson of Holland College. Bonus in effect now for Mount St. Vincent. Gilmore with a lucky bounce off the rim, up and in. 22-point lead now, largest lead of the game so far for Mount St. Vincent. And it becomes one larger with that second free throw. 64-41 now the score. Just over 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. McKinnon now for Woodside. Woodside driving Fearon into the hoop. And they're going to catch Woodside on a travel. And this is Mako Rocky checking into the game. First we're seeing of him today. Owen Parsons coming back into the game for Holland College. He takes out Woodside. Matheson and Callahan running the show offensively for Mount St. Vincent. And Chase Tynes, probably one of their stronger players on the bench with 4 fouls, but with the 23-point lead, they can afford to have him there, especially with Matheson and Callahan doing what they're doing, but it's a turnover forced by the Hurricanes defense. McKinnon to Ambrose Johnson. Johnson to the baseline, puts it up, and that's good. Nice shot there by Ambrose Johnson. Matheson now slowing things down, coming the other way. Thinks about a 3, now gets it low to Fearon instead. Fearon bodies McKinnon, no foul called either way there. And that is Rocky down low with the putback for Mount St. Vincent. So Mako Rocky making his presence felt early on in his time. As Ambrose Johnson, once again, that's 2 possessions in a row. Ambrose Johnson with a good drive to the hoop. Just over a minute left now in the third quarter, 66-45 the score. Callahan watched closely by Johnson. Gets it back to Matheson. 3-point shot, no good, and Ambrose Johnson collects the rebound. Calmly brings it up for Holland College. Thinks about slowing things down, gets it back to Nate Johnson. Back to Ambrose, puts up a 3, and that's 3 possessions in a row. Ambrose Johnson. 7 points for Johnson in the last 3 possessions now. As all the offense seems to be flowing through him at this point in time for the Hurricanes. Fearon with it at the top of the 3-point line for Matheson. Matheson drives past Parsons, drives to the hoop. Dozavato, I think, got a hand on that, but it's Rocky with the rebound. Back up top. That's Gilmore for 3, and it's good. 21-point lead now. No shot clock for the Hurricanes. 10 seconds left in the third quarter here. McKinnon with it. Watched by Matheson. McKinnon steps up into the key. That shot no good. Rocky with the rebound. Gets it up ahead for Callahan. Callahan will put up a 3 that won't go at the buzzer. Nonetheless, it's still a 21-point lead for Mount St. Vincent as we go into the fourth quarter here. 69-48, the Mystics lead the Hurricanes. Mount St. Vincent opening things up significantly there in that third quarter. We'll look to see what happens here in the fourth quarter when we return after a minute break. And as we wind down the intermission break here in between the third and fourth quarters, again, Mount St. Vincent with a 69-48 lead over the Holland College Hurricanes. Both teams seem to be emptying their bench here a little bit in the late stages of that third quarter. Holland College had a little bit of traction offensively there towards the end of the quarter thanks to Ambrose Johnson. See if he can maintain that and maybe cut into this lead a little bit. 21 points, a little daunting perhaps for Holland College. especially against the 6-0 Mount St. Vincent Mystics. 6-0 coming into this game. Holland College at 3-3. There's Nate Johnson with it. Watched closely by Gilmore. Cross court to Ambrose Johnson. Just talked about him and his strong offensive finish. Doesn't get that basket to go. Nate Johnson follows up on the rebound, though. Back down low to Ambrose. Fighting for the offensive rebound there. Good battle, but it's off of him and out of bounds, so it will be Mystic ball. Good possession for Holland College there, just couldn't get any points out of it. Matheson now, Fearon at the top of the key. Back over to Matheson. That's Gilmore with it now, cutting into the middle, into the paint. Rocky off the rim, and that's Dozavato with a good defensive board following the play. Ambrose Johnson now bringing it up for the Canes. Johnson wide to Ryan McKinnon. McKinnon back up to Johnson. Nate Johnson now with it on the side. Back into the middle. Ambrose Johnson, long three-pointer. Thought it was going to go, but it just rimmed out. And Matheson with another rebound for the Mystics. He's had a strong game at both ends of the court. Steps around McKinnon, can't get that to go. Dozavato, big body there in the paint, and he's going to draw a foul. Didn't even need to leave his feet to get that rebound. Foul was called on Michael Rocky. Bryce Corliss and D'Angelo Woodside checking back into the game, as is Aaron Simmons. Simmons inbounds to Ambrose Johnson. Corliss takes it from Simmons. Simmons now down into the paint for Owen Parsons. Ambrose Johnson again going down that left side, seems to be where he's most comfortable. Woodside, great battle for the rebound there. Tipped it to himself 3 or 4 times. Now kicks it out to Simmons. Simmons from the baseline, good shot there. As Holland College hits 50. 69-50 the score now. Mount St. Vincent leading. Again, first place in the ACAA. Good defending there by Aaron Simmons. Knocks the ball out of bounds. Simmons showing great quickness and athleticism there. Timeout called by Holland College early here in the fourth quarter. Still just over 8 minutes left. But cutting into that lead early. It was 69-48. Only 2 points scored in the first couple minutes here. But again, lots of action. Similar to how the third quarter started. In that third quarter, if you remember, Mount St. Vincent really pouring on the offense as the quarter went on. Holland College got a little bit going at the end. We'll see if they can maintain that. Good start there. Aaron Simmons making his presence felt early on in this shift with a nice basket close to the baseline. Good defending near the half-court line. Simmons from Nassau, Bahamas. One of 2 players from Nassau on the Hurricanes team, D'Angelo Woodside being the other. Mentioned earlier in the game, Mount St. Vincent fielding a team of almost exclusively Nova Scotia players. Cole Power, number 10, from Deer Lake, Newfoundland, is the only player on their roster from outside Nova Scotia. So a true homegrown roster here for head coach Danny DePalma and the Mystics. There's Matheson with it. Matheson kicks it out to Callahan. Callahan's had a strong game from beyond the three-point line. Callahan bodied there, turns the ball over. Corliss now with it. Sherrard almost steps on the end line and deposits the three-pointer. As I mentioned, Holland College needs to cut into this lead, and so far they're doing that. 5 points in the first couple of minutes here of the fourth quarter. None for the Mystics. But Sam Gilmore quickly changes that. His second 3 in a few minutes here. Restoring that 19-point lead. Simmons out wide for Sherrard. That's a long 2-point attempt off the rim. Looked like he didn't quite have his feet set. Maybe trying to step back behind that 3-point line. Matheson, that's where he's lived all day, is underneath the basket. Several baskets from that range. Close range for Isaac Matheson. Sherrard now up to Woodside. Over to Ambrose Johnson. Ambrose Johnson had a strong end to the third quarter. Again, going down that left side. Can't get that to go. The rim's not playing in his favor here. Now that's Gilmore coming up Matheson was cutting through the middle, but they opted to swing it out wide instead. Now Matheson has it on the perimeter, looking for Gilmore with another three-point attempt. That one just off the rim. Good effort by Keegan Fearon there to try and save that ball from going out, but he did step on the end line. So it will be Holland College ball. So 5-5 in the fourth quarter, 74-53 in the game. Just under 7 minutes left as Aaron Simmons nifty behind the back. Sherrard over to Johnson, swings it to Corliss. Corliss has been quiet here in the second half after a really strong first half. Foul on Isaac Matheson there, and Corliss will go to the line for 2 free throws. Chase Tynes checks back into the game. He's had a very strong game at both ends of the court for Mount St. Vincent. Corliss gets the first shot to go. And Corliss goes 2 for 2 from the line, and it's 74-55 now. So 19 points, not insurmountable yet, but with 6.5 minutes left, Holland College is going to need some big chunks here. Scoring in chunks. Jackson Smith with a good layup there, extending the lead to 21 once again. Aaron Simmons quickly back the other way for Holland College. Swings it out to Corliss. Past Jackson Smith, goes up off the backboard for 2. Cuts the lead down under 20 again. Matheson pressured there by Sherrard, but gets it off calmly to Tynes, who brings it up across half court. Again, Mount St. Vincent probably content to take their time here. Callahan says no thanks. And another 3-point shot for Callahan. He's had a very strong game shooting from beyond the arc today. Simmons turns it over there. Matheson with the takeaway. Simmons looks like he might be shaken up there as that pass from Matheson goes just out of the reach of Jackson Smith. Jackson Smith has had a strong game offensively and defensively for the Mystics. Ambrose Johnson brings the ball up. Dominic Sherrard now with it. Tries to get it across court to Corliss, but Simmons was there instead. Simmons puts up a 3. That doesn't go. Chase Tynes with a good, mostly uncontested defensive board there. Good pass to Jackson Smith. Tries to get it over to Callahan. That was a little high for him. Great effort by Callahan to keep that in play, but it was right into the hands of the Hurricanes. Now Aaron Simmons has it. Dishes it for Corliss for another 3. That one doesn't go, and Tynes almost put it back in the Holland College net, but the Mystics do break out the other way. Gilmore can't get that layup to go, looking for a foul. None is called. And Aaron Simmons, as we hit the halfway mark of the fourth quarter, finds Ambrose Johnson driving the lane into the paint. Big block there by Matheson. They're going to say he got the hand, and Ambrose Johnson will go to the line for 2. Substitution for Holland College here. Apologize, I don't have number 4 in my program. Ambrose Johnson can't get the first shot to go. It's a 22-point lead for Mount St. Vincent now. Can't get the second to go either. Both shots hitting that back part of the rim and bouncing away. Callahan quickly up to Jackson Smith. Woodside does a good job of getting his hand in the way of the passing lane there as the ball goes out of bounds. Mystics will maintain possession. 22-point lead with 4:46 to go. Tynes was looking for an alley-oop there, but it was over his head, and Ambrose Johnson takes it end-to-end for the layup. And the lead is 20 for the Mystics. Callahan now brings the ball up, directing traffic, waiting for someone to open up. Gets it over to Chase Tynes. Tynes for 3. Swish. And Tynes continues his strong game. 82-59 now as Ambrose Johnson once again down that left side. And Tynes, that's at least a couple of blocks for him in this game. Micah Anderson now coming into the game for Matheson. 4:14 left. Maybe the last we'll see of Matheson, but Very, very strong offensive performance for Isaac Matheson today. Holland College also going to the bench. Dozavato and Nate Johnson checking into the game. Ball is up. Corliss looking for it. Smith was there, bounced in and out of the hands of Dozavato, still bouncing around. Finally, it's Anderson, fresh onto the court, who corrals it, settles things down for Mount St. Vincent. Tynes off the foot of Dozavato. Trying to hit Jackson Smith on a bounce pass into the paint. Tynes to Callahan. That's a long three-point shot. Just doesn't go. Now we're going to get a foul called against Holland College. They're going to call it a shooting foul as well, so that'll be Sam Gilmore to the line for 2. And Chase Tynes comes out. This is Jaron Gallant. First we're seeing of him in this game. As again, Danny DePalma with a 23-point lead, under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. Going to some of his bench players. Gilmore can't get the first shot to go. Adam Callahan and Jackson Smith are still out there for Mount St. Vincent. They've had strong offensive games. Gilmore gets the second shot to go. Now we're getting Zach Ketty into the game. He'll take out Jackson Smith. First we're seeing of Ketty today. Mystics are content to let Holland College cross half court uncontested. It's Corliss with it. Swings it wide. Back into the middle, number 4. Again, sorry, don't have him on my program. That's Dozavato now for Simmons. Simmons tries to get a circus layup to go. Dozavato can't get the rebound either. And it's Gilmore the other way for the Mystics. And that was Jaron Gallant called for the travel. Dominic Sherrard now coming back into the game. Corliss checks out. 3:29 here left in the fourth quarter. The score is 83-49 in favor of the Mystics. Again, came into this game 6-0, looking to leave it 7-0. Holland College came in at 500 with a record of 3-3. Simmons now with it outside the three-point line. Long two-point shot there, corralled by Zach Ketty. Fresh into the game. Here's Callahan. He's been having a very strong game offensively. Kicks it back for Ketty, looking for a 3, can't get it to go. Dozavato gets the rebound. Again, big body down in the middle in that paint there for Holland College in Demoy Dozavato. Nate Johnson now with it. Johnson, Sherrard, quick down low to Dozavato. Dozavato, that's a long three-point attempt. Doesn't go, and it hits the top part of the net, so that will be ruled out of bounds. And because Holland College shot it, it will be Mount St. Vincent basketball. Both number 8s checking into the game. Michael Rocky and Ryan McKinnon in now for the Mystics and Hurricanes, respectively. Callahan with the ball as we approach the 2.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. McKinnon, he almost had a chance at a great turnover and a breakaway, but just lost his footing, and unfortunately for him, the ball was underneath him when he did. So the ball goes out of bounds, and Mount St. Vincent will retain possession. Callahan crosses center court. Rocky mishandles that, but gets it back. Back over to Callahan. Again, most of the offense has gone through Callahan for the most part of this game. Foul called on Rocky there. Moving screen was the call. Still 83-59, so not much scoring happening here in the late stages of this game, as the teams kind of trade possessions back and forth. Mount St. Vincent content to just let the clock go. Long three-point attempt for number 4 is good for the Canes. 83-62 now the score. As we hit the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. 83-62 the score. Mount St. Vincent over your hometown Hurricanes. Callahan with a shot. That doesn't get there. Good play by Sherrard to keep the ball in play, and Nate Johnson back quickly the other way. Quick transition here by the Canes. Ryan McKinnon cutting into the middle. Looking for Dozovato, but just out of his reach. And that will be Mystic ball in their own end. 1:41 left here. Adam Callahan, again, very strong performance from him offensively. Callahan gives and goes with Gallant. Callahan cuts into the middle. That's 2 more for Callahan. Extending that lead to 23 once again. Nate Johnson with it for the Hurricanes. Down to Ryan McKinnon. Thought about a long 3. Gets it down into the corner for Sherrard. Sherrard, long pass back up to the top for Dozovato. 5 seconds left on the shot clock now. Holland College needs to get something happening quickly here. And they're not going to. Took too long. Lost control of the ball and got it back just in time to at least get a shot at the net. Less than a minute left here now. Mount St. Vincent with the ball. Gallant with it. Gives it over to Anderson. Anderson now. Over to Keddy. Again, Mount St. Vincent playing mostly bench players right now. But that's Zach Keddy with a good layup, as a couple of Hurricanes go to the ground on that. Sherrard now brings it up. 40 seconds left in the game. McKinnon swings it wide to the far side. Back to Sherrard in the middle. Sherrard fakes Keddy out. Gets the ball over into the corner. Nate Johnson takes his time, lines up the 3, but can't get it to go. And it's Callahan with the rebound. Shot clock still in play. 1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. But Mount St. Vincent seems content to let most of the game run out here. And Holland College is going to get the ball back with 1 second left. Again, Mount St. Vincent content to just let the clock go. 1.2 on the clock, 25-point lead. And on the inbound, Sherrard will put the ball down, and that will end the game. Final score, Mount St. Vincent 87, Holland College 62. Holland College has 2 more road games left before the Christmas break next weekend at St. Thomas on the 2nd, at UNBSJ on the 3rd. They return home January 12th against Mount Allison University. That brings this broadcast to a close. Thanks for joining us for this ACAA men's basketball game. Again, Mount St. Vincent moving to 7-0 over the Holland College Hurricanes with a score of 87-62. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.